Your entire life you've been told the same lie. Go to college or you'll never make real money. Spend $100,000 on a degree or you'll end up broke. Follow the traditional path or you're destined to fail. And then you start noticing something strange. Your cousin who skipped college and learned a trade is buying a house, while your friends with degrees are living with their parents. Your neighbor who got certified in something you'd never heard of just bought a new truck in cash. The guy down the street who went straight into the workforce is making six figures, while people with master's degrees are fighting over $50,000 jobs. So you start wondering if maybe the whole college thing is actually the biggest scam of our generation. What if there are careers out there that pay incredibly well without requiring you to take on crushing debt, and waste 4 years of your life sitting in lectures you'll forget in 2 weeks? My name is Mike, and I've spent years analyzing why society pushes expensive degrees when there are legitimately better financial paths available. If you're curious about making serious income without the college debt trap, smash that subscribe button and drop a like, because today we're breaking down 10 high-paying careers you can start right now without spending a single dollar on tuition. The job market has changed dramatically, but our education system is still stuck in 1995, telling everyone they need a degree or they're worthless. That's complete nonsense. There are dozens of careers where you can earn six figures without ever stepping foot in a college classroom. In fact, some of these careers pay better than most jobs that require degrees. The barrier to entry is usually time, certification, apprenticeships, or technical training, but not massive student debt. The math is actually insane when you look at it. Think about the traditional degree path: 4 years of school, $30,000 to $100,000 in debt, lost income while you're studying. And you're starting your career already stressed about paying off loans for the next 20 years. Compare that to a skilled trade you get paid while you learn. You go straight into a career that's actively hiring. You have zero student debt, you're miles ahead financially from day one. Let me walk you through 10 of the highest paying careers you can break into right now without a degree. And some of these will blow your mind in terms of how much money you can actually make. Career number 1 is elevator installation and repair. This is one of the most underrated high-paying jobs in America. Elevator mechanics make $80,000 to $120,000 per year after completing their apprenticeship. Some experienced mechanics pull in over $150,000 annually. You start as an apprentice and get paid while you learn. Most apprenticeships last 4 years and you're earning money from day one. By year 4, you're making serious income and you have zero debt. The demand is absolutely insane because every building over 3 stories needs elevators. Every hospital, every office building, every apartment complex. And these systems need constant maintenance and repair. Elevators can't just break down and stay broken. Buildings need them functioning immediately, which means emergency calls pay premium rates. We're talking double or triple the normal hourly rate for emergency work. Plus, the barrier to entry is low. You need a high school diploma and basic mechanical aptitude. That's it. No college applications, no entrance exams, no crushing student loans. Just apply to an apprenticeship program and start getting paid to learn a skill that will make you 6 figures for life. Career number 2 is commercial diving. This is where things get really interesting. Commercial divers make $70,000 to over $200,000 per year depending on specialization. Underwater welders, which is a specialized form of commercial diving, can make $300,000 annually. The training takes 6 months to 2 years at a commercial diving school. Yes, it costs money up front. Maybe $15,000 to $30,000, but compare that to a $100,000 degree. The work is challenging and sometimes dangerous. But that's exactly why it pays so well. You're doing underwater construction, offshore oil rig maintenance, underwater welding, pipeline inspection, ship repairs. The demand is constant because offshore infrastructure needs maintenance. Ports need repairs. Underwater construction never stops. This isn't for everyone because the work environment is tough. But if you're willing to do what others won't, you get paid what others don't. Some commercial divers work 6 months a year and make more than doctors. They take the other 6 months off and travel or build other income streams. Career number 3 is radiation therapist. This one surprises people because it sounds medical, but you don't need a medical degree. Radiation therapists make $85,000 to $120,000 per year. You need an associate degree, which is 2 years and costs a fraction of a bachelor's degree. We're talking maybe $20,000 to $30,000 total. The job is administering radiation treatments to cancer patients, operating sophisticated medical equipment, and working in hospitals or cancer treatment centers. The demand is strong and growing because cancer treatment is unfortunately always needed. The work is meaningful because you're literally helping save lives. And the income is excellent for only 2 years of school. Compare this to someone spending 4 years and $100,000 on a degree to make $60,000 as a starting salary. The radiation therapist is already 2 years into their career, making $85,000 while the college student is still in debt and just starting out. Career number 4 is oil rig worker. This is hardcore work, but the money is absolutely insane. Oil rig workers make $70,000 to over $150,000 per year. Some experienced workers on offshore rigs make over $200,000 annually. You don't need a degree. You need to be willing to work in challenging conditions and pass basic safety training. The schedule is usually rotational. You might work 2 weeks on the rig, then have 2 weeks off. So you're essentially working half the year, but making full year income. The work is physically demanding and you're often in remote locations or offshore platforms. But companies pay premium wages because they need workers and not everyone is willing to do it. The barrier to entry is surprisingly low. You start as a roustabout, which is basically an entry-level position. You learn on the job, you get certified in various safety procedures, and you work your way up. Within 5 years, you can be making 6 figures with zero college debt. Career number 5 is power line technician. These are the people who install and repair electrical power systems, and they make serious money. Power line technicians earn $70,000 to over $100,000 per year. Experienced line workers, especially those who do high voltage work, can make $130,000 or more. You get trained through an apprenticeship that lasts 3 to 4 years. You're getting paid the entire time. The work is challenging because you're dealing with high voltage electricity and often working in difficult conditions. But that's exactly why it pays so well. The demand is massive because power infrastructure is constantly expanding and aging. Systems need maintenance and replacement. Emergency calls during storms or power outages pay premium rates. Some line workers make an extra $50,000 to $70,000 per year just from storm work and overtime. When hurricanes hit or ice storms knock out power, these workers are making incredible money because utilities need power restored immediately. Career number 6 is air traffic controller. We mentioned this briefly, but it deserves emphasis. Air traffic controllers make $120,000 to $170,000 per year. This is a Federal Aviation Administration job with government benefits, pension, and job security. You don't need a college degree. You need to complete the FAA Academy and pass their screening process. The training is intense and not everyone makes it through. But if you do, you're set for life. The job requires intense focus and the ability to handle high-pressure situations. You're literally responsible for keeping planes from crashing into each other. But the pay reflects that responsibility. You're basically guaranteed 6 figures from day one. You get federal benefits that are hard to beat. You have a pension waiting for you at retirement. And you never worry about job security because planes will always need guidance. Career number 7 is real estate appraiser. This is different from being a real estate agent. Appraisers make $70,000 to $120,000 per year. Experienced appraisers, especially those who specialize in commercial properties, can make significantly more. You need to get licensed, which requires coursework and supervised experience hours. But no degree, the barrier to entry is relatively low. You take some classes, you work under a licensed appraiser for a period of time to get your hours. Then you get your own license and start working. The income potential grows as you build experience and reputation. Commercial appraisers who handle large properties or complex valuations can make $200,000 or more annually. The work is appraising properties for banks, mortgage companies, legal proceedings, estate planning. There's constant demand because real estate transactions happen constantly and every mortgage requires an appraisal. Career number 8 is dental hygienist. This is actually a sweet spot between income and training time. Dental hygienists make $75,000 to $105,000 per year depending on the market. You need an associate degree, which is 2 years, not 4. The cost is maybe $15,000 to $25,000 total compared to $100,000 for a bachelor's. Every dental practice needs multiple hygienists. The demand is huge and it's not going anywhere. People constantly need cleanings, preventative care, and x-rays. The job market is strong and growing, plus there's flexibility. Some hygienists work full-time at one practice, some work at multiple practices, some work part-time. By the time someone finishes a 4-year degree, you've already been working as a hygienist for 2 years making $75,000 annually. You're 2 years ahead in earnings and you have a fraction of the debt. Career number 9 is construction manager. This is hugely lucrative and you build the career over time. Construction managers make $80,000 to $150,000 starting out. Experienced ones make significantly more. You don't need a degree. You need experience on construction sites and certifications. Many people start as laborers or in specific trades. They work their way up. They learn the business from the ground up. They understand how projects actually work. Then they get a project management professional certification, which boosts their credibility and earning potential. You're learning while doing, which is infinitely more practical than sitting in a classroom. The demand is consistent because buildings are always being constructed or renovated. As you build experience and reputation, you can start your own construction company, and the income potential becomes unlimited. Some construction company owners make $300,000 to $500,000 per year. Career number 10 is software developer. And yes, you can become a developer without a computer science degree. Boot camps and self-taught developers are everywhere now. Software developers make $80,000 to $150,000 per year. Senior developers make significantly more. You can learn to code through online resources. Coding boot camps that cost $10,000 to $20,000, or even completely free through platforms like Free Code Camp. The barrier is time and effort, not money. It takes 6 months to 2 years to get good enough to land your first job. But once you do, the income growth is rapid. The demand for developers is absolutely insane. Every company needs software. Every business needs websites and apps. The tech industry is constantly hiring. Remote work is common, which means you can live anywhere and work for companies in high-paying markets. Some self-taught developers are making $200,000 or more within 5 years. The key is building a portfolio of projects, contributing to open source, and proving you can actually code. Companies care about what you can do, not where you went to school. Here's what ties all 10 of these careers together. They all pay well, they're all actively hiring. The training is accessible, and they don't require you to take on massive debt. These aren't side hustles or gig work. These are legitimate careers with growth potential and financial stability. The person who completes a 4-year apprenticeship as an elevator mechanic and starts making $100,000 at age 22 is in a completely different financial position than someone who spent 4 years and $100,000 on a degree to start at $50,000. By age 30, the tradesperson is probably $150,000 ahead. By age 40, the gap is absolutely massive. The tax benefits of being self-employed or running a business in some of these fields are also significant. You can deduct business expenses, vehicle costs, equipment, home office, all of which reduces your taxable income. A construction manager making $90,000 after deductions might pay less in taxes than someone making $90,000 as a regular employee. I'm not saying college is always bad. For some careers, it's necessary. If you want to be a doctor, you need medical school. If you want to be a lawyer, you need law school. But for building wealth and financial freedom, there are often better, faster, and cheaper paths. Don't just follow the default route because everyone else is doing it. Look at the actual job market. Look at what's paying real money. Look at what has reasonable barriers to entry. Look at what has strong demand. The careers I mentioned check all these boxes. If you're stressed about college costs or worried you won't make it without a degree, maybe it's time to consider whether there's a different path that makes more financial sense for you. Your future self will thank you for thinking strategically about this instead of blindly following what society tells you to do. Drop a comment and let me know which career surprised you the most. And if this changed how you think about college and careers, subscribe to Mike Capital because we're exposing the truth about building wealth without the debt trap.